everybody, and Happy New Year! This is Cherise from Sher from 2000. Welcome back to another video. And in this video, I will be sharing my thoughts on Disney's Mulan in honor of Chinese New Year, which is January 22nd. Mulan is an animated film that was released on June 19th, 1998. It was directed by Barry Cook and Tony Bancroft. This movie is based off of the Chinese legend Ballad of Mulan by Gao Maki. I'm sorry if I don't pronounce everyone's names correctly in this video. Just a warning and heads up. The movie stars Ming-Na Wen as the titular character, and her singing voice is portrayed by Broadway veteran Lea Salonga. She also did the singing voice for Jasmine in Aladdin back in 1992. Eddie Murphy as Mushu, Mulan's guardian of the movie. B.D. Wong as Captain Li Shang. His singing voice is portrayed by Donny Osmond. Miguel Ferrer as Shan Yu, the movie's villain and leader of the Han army. June Foray, she is a legendary voice actress. She plays Grandma Fa. Harvey Fierstein, Jetty Watanabe, and Jerry Tondo as Yao, Ling, and Chen Po, the three soldiers that Mulan befriends during training. Of course, they give her a hard time at first, but they get along afterwards. James Hong as Chifu, Sun Tek as Fa Zhao, George Takei as the Emperor, Miriam Margolyes as the Matchmaker, Frida Von Shen as Fa Li, James Shigetti as General Li, Shang's father, Frank Welker as Cricket and Khan the horse, the one that Mulan usually rides on, and Chris Sanders as little brother. The Emperor basically gives out orders that they need sons to come in and help fight against the Huns. Of course, not all the families have firstborn sons, so the fathers would have to come in, and it just so happens that Mulan's father volunteers to fight in the war, even though he's severely injured. He's not feeling well, but he said he will do whatever it takes to honor his family, because Mulan doesn't really make a good impression with the matchmakers, so her family is shunned and have this honor. So Mulan decides to take her father's place, disguising herself as a man and a soldier, going out into battle to honor her family, basically to restore her family's honor. Okay guys, it's time for me to share my thoughts. When this movie first came out, China wasn't really impressed with the movie, saying there was a lot of inaccuracies, and of course, not everything's going to be perfect. There's China, and everyone has their own different beliefs and different culture. I think it still is very important to get the culture right and to make sure people are represented correctly. I actually really enjoyed this movie. Goodness, it's actually one of my favorite Disney movies, and it's definitely at least in my top 5, maybe top 3 of my favorite Disney movies of the Renaissance era. I love the animation. It is gorgeous, especially the very opening where you see like the different arts of China. It's so beautiful, and the music that goes along with it is amazing. And I actually have Mulan. Of course, I had to get the doll because I freaking love Disney, especially Disney princesses. It's just amazing. And speaking of Mulan, I really see why a lot of people really like her. And she is very relatable. A lot of us, we all want to make our parents proud. And some of us have struggling backgrounds, and we have to do whatever it takes to help our families. And we all have a lot of sacrifices that we make. And, with Mulan, she's a woman. Her obviously, there's different statuses in the movie with like men versus women, and it's her job to honor her family, get something with the matchmaker, help her get matched with a husband. Of course, she messes up because, again, no one's perfect, guys. Like, even the most perfect person that even they have flaws. And I mean, I think that scene was hilarious though, because she was reading the text off of her forearm, and then the matchmaker did this, where she had the paint and she had like a mustache, and then Cricket goes inside of her clothes, and she's on fire. I think Mulan has one of the best Disney princess songs ever. Like Reflection is a gorgeous song. I wish it was a little bit longer. I believe there's a deleted scene that has the full version of Reflection, and I think it's the same one that Christina Aguilera sings, the pop version at the end of the movie. The message of the song about, hiding your identity and trying to look yourself in the mirror to see, are you really worthy of this, and how to make people proud, and just trying to be yourself without hiding inside. I mean, it's just an amazing song. I know this song is definitely used for like LGBTQ plus representation. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I just think it's a gorgeous song. Lea Salonga, she did fabulous as Jasmine, so this is just like another level. It's just amazing. I think my personal favorite scene from this movie is where she decides that she's going to take her father's place and go to the army, go to war. I mean, it starts off low, and then like you hear the drums, you hear like, because she's going into war. It's just, oh, it's amazing. She cuts her hair, she gets on Kandahar, she puts on her father's armor. It is breathtaking. It is amazing. It is totally badass. I like Mulan's journey, that when she goes to the army, she's not the best. She struggles a lot, and she almost gets kicked out, but she fights her way. She encourages herself. She does whatever it takes to get that arrow off of like the pole, the wooden pole with the little bangs thingies. You know what I'm referring to during "I'll Make a Man Out of You," but it's just amazing what she goes through. And then when she's revealed, I mean, obviously that's really sad, because the penalty that if a woman goes, if a woman's discovered, the penalty is death. But Shang spares her, and basically, I also gotta point out, Mulan has a pretty high kill count out of any of the characters that I know for Disney. She probably has the highest kill count. She basically took down almost the entire Hun army during the Snow Mountain scene with an avalanche. The Emperor during the end of the movie, and she uses her thinking to outsmart Shen Yu, and I love the way she uses that fan, and when she twists it, she's like, not quite. I mean, she's badass. Okay, this is why she's a Disney princess. She may have not been born royal, nor did she marry royal, but she committed an act of heroism by saving China. Like, if that's not a reason why she should be a Disney princess, then I don't know what is. But Mulan is a badass. End of story. So let me talk about some of the other characters. Shang, who is Mulan's love interest. He starts off very reserved and stern. He wants to impress his father that he can be a general someday, and he has to whip these new soldiers to shape. And I have to say, "I'll Make a Man Out of You" is awesome. It is so amazing. It's probably my favorite Disney song, or at least in like the top 3 for sure. Like, it's like the best training song of all time. I mean, yeah, you got Rocky, the Rocky movies, like Eye of the Tiger or whatever, but "I'll Make a Man Out of You," oh my gosh, I love it. I love the beginning, I love the middle, I just love everything. And Donny Osmond, oh my gosh, was amazing singing this. And I believe in the Chinese version, Jackie Chan also sings this. And I think he plays Shang in the Chinese version. I'm not too sure. Of course, you got your comedic trio, like Ling, Yao, and Chen Po. They remind me of like the Three Stooges for some reason. I don't know why, but they just have really great chemistry with each other, and like they have different personalities. Like Yao is the more like butt kicker of the group. Ling is the jokester of the group, and Chenpo is like the peacemaker, the calm person. I like Chenpo though; he's really sweet. And of course, they give Mulan a hard time, like I said before, but they actually get to like her when after she proves herself worthy. Mushu, Mushu, Eddie Murphy before Shrek, y'all. This was probably my favorite from him. Before Shrek, this was probably my favorite thing that he did. I mean, he just has like such witty and like funny moments. I like when he first awakens out of his stone prison or whatever, and he has to wake up the ancestors, and then he breaks like the dragon, the great dragon, stone hedge dragon, and then probably one of my favorite lines from the movie is like, "Okay, that's it. Dishonor on your whole family. Write this down. Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your cow." Honestly, Shan Yu he's fine. It's just he's not one of my favorite Disney villains. That's why I didn't have him on my top 10 male Disney villains. Just because he doesn't really make a huge impact in the movie. I mean, yeah, he's a leader of the Hun army, but his personality's kind of meh. And he's barely in the movie. He's in it what at least like 15 minutes of the movie. It just, it's they kind of treat him as like an afterthought, in my opinion. I mean, I used to be scared of Shan Yu as a kid, just mainly because of his dark demeanor. He looks very intimidating, especially his piercing yellow eyes. And for some reason, I thought he was wearing mascara as a kid. I'm like, why is he wearing makeup? I didn't understand it. I was a kid at the time. I didn't know what that meant. I love Mulan's family. I think they're very supportive. Even her father. I mean, yeah, her father gives her a hard time after dishonoring the family. But one of my favorite lines that Mulan's father says is after she sings Reflection, and you have the cherry blossoms, and he says that there's a flower that hasn't bloomed yet, but when it does, it will be the most beautiful of them all. And that's how he sees Mulan. And also near the end of the movie, when Mulan comes back with the gifts, he said that the greatest gift of all was having her as a daughter, and I thought that was really sweet. Oh my gosh, I thought I was gonna cry at that moment. That was so amazing. And then Grandma Fa is hilarious with her Lucky Cricket, and is like, "Sign me up for the next war!" And yeah, everyone in this movie is just hilarious and so supportive. Oh, and the Emperor has some great lines too, some great quotes, and is very wise. So, I believe in 2004 or 2005, Disney released Mulan II, a direct-to-DVD sequel to the first movie. Pretty much, it's about Mulan and Shang. They're gonna get married, but they have to take the Emperor's daughters to another land to make a treaty with that other land. Otherwise, war and everything. And obviously, both of them have their different viewpoints of that. Meanwhile, Mushu finds out that if Mulan gets married, he basically goes back down to not being a guardian anymore or something like that. I don't know. This is probably one of the worst Disney sequels of all time. And just my main thing was just Mushu. Just Mushu. He's not voiced by Eddie Murphy in this one, but they got a guy that sounds pretty close to Eddie Murphy, but just Mushu. That's my main thing. That's my main complaint about this movie. It's just Mushu is so unlikable in this. He's trying to drive a wedge between Mulan and Shang, and all because he wants to keep his guardian status or whatever. And I'm like, dude, you're ruining a perfect couple, man. Why are you doing this? They basically made Mushu the bad guy. If you think about it, they're making Mushu the bad guy. And, God, he tries to make it up at the end by having Mulan and Shang get married. But, like, dude, God, what did they do to Mushu? What did they do to Mushu? Why did you guys ruin Mushu? And of course, the animation is pretty bland. I mean, I know it's a direct-to-DVD sequel, but come on, put a little bit of effort into it. The new characters they're forgettable. The old characters are basically a empty shell of their former selves. Even Mulan and Shang. Like Shang has some anger issues, and you know what scene I'm talking about. You know exactly what scene I am referring to, where he's yelling at Mulan, and the animation is, oh god. What did they do? What did they do to Shang? And don't get me started on the live action Mulan that came out in 2020. Woo! And I thought Mulan II was bad. Oh man. Oh. What are they doing to you? What are they doing to you? What did they do, guys? What did they do to Mulan for the live action movie? I am all for having female empowerment. That's not my problem. I am okay with having female empowerment. I think we still need to have female empowerment. My main problem is they made Mulan perfect. Too perfect. The reason why I like Mulan in the animated movie was because we got to see the struggles that she had to endure being a woman in society and having to honor her family. She had to prove herself. She had a lot to prove after not matching up with the husband, with the matchmaker. She basically humiliated herself with the matchmaker, dishonored her family, being shunned because of the actions that she did. And she had to prove herself. She had to prove herself to her family, to China, and to herself. But she finds a way to bounce back, and she gets better. She improves over time. And, like I said, that kill count, she took out basically majority of the Huns. And then, when she was revealed, she was basically shunned again. And she looked into her helmet, her father's helmet, saying, like, maybe I didn't do this for my father. Maybe I did this to prove to myself that I was worthy. Basically, the hero's journey in the animated Mulan is completely non-existent in the live action. She's too perfect. Like, she already has, like, the fighting skills, and I don't know what else to say. She's too perfect, and then the whole witch villain thing, I don't even know what that was. And it's just very mediocre. Now, I will say the visuals are stunning, and Christina Aguilera's new song, Loyal, Brave, and True, those are the only things I like about the live-action Mulan. Everything else is complete garbage. Okay, it's just, they sucked out what made the animated Mulan so special and unique for this movie. So, those were my thoughts on Disney's Mulan. Like I said, this movie isn't perfect, but there's just something special and unique. It has a lot of charisma. And again, Mulan is a great heroine. She's a great Disney princess. She is a great role model. I want to know what you guys' thoughts are on this movie. Do you like the movie? What's your favorite song? What's your favorite part about this movie? What are your thoughts on Mulan 2 and the live action Mulan? What do you want to see in the future from Mulan? I mean, I know she was in Wreck-It Ralph 2, but I would love to see more content with Mulan. So, happy Chinese New Year. I think this video probably won't be done till like the end of the month. So, but I want to say happy Chinese New Year. It is the year of the rabbit. So, oh yeah, what's your Chinese zodiac sign? Let me know what your Chinese zodiac sign is in the comments down below. Please follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Like and subscribe to this channel, as well as my second YouTube channel, Share Your Creations. So until then, see you in the future.